behind the 8 ball. Well, okay, guys, we have full lobby. The teams are readying up. We are entering game right now. Last set of the day, NG Red versus a new FaZe. This is my first time getting to watch FaZe, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, this is the first tournament for FaZe, so after losing 2-0 to Envy, they would not want to go out of the tournament.
Yeah.
In their first tournament.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Losing 2-0 to Envy, everyone loses 2-0 to Envy. I think Cloud9 lost 2-0 to Envy the other night. Envy has just been dumpstering people as of late. I think the only teams that could really probably compete with Envy, which we won't even see this weekend, are probably the top European teams in like Rogue and Reunited. But right now, Envy's absolutely the class of the North American scene, and they are not necessarily North American, but they live in North Carolina, so Envy is our NA squad that we have for now. Defensively, let's look at the rosters really quick here. Vaneless is right now queued up on May, so chat, I guess get your Mays ready. I don't think we're going to see it. Fraud will be playing the Symmetra. Wonderfuls right now is on Lucio, but I imagine he'll switch up.
Did you see that?
I did not.
So, Vaneless used the May wall to boost Mendo with Soldier on type of Sniper's Nest.
That's cool.
So that was why we had May for a second. Vaneless will go back to play Mercy.
You know what's funny about Mendo, too, is like when he was on IDDQD is when they started doing kind of weird niche rosterish stuff. I think they were one of the first to really use double Lucios to speed boost out Symmetras. They were the first to really go like the 6 Hanzo strategy to try to get scatter shot kills early on King's Row. So while he, you know, is a unique character, I think he's got some unique ideas too. It's going to be really interesting to see if the Symmetra gets set up. Other than that, a pretty standard defense here, and it's also really cool to see Mendo back on this arch. A new position for the Soldier 76. They also have a Symmetra turret over there to see so he can prevent getting flanked.
Yeah, we actually have Wolf coming out as the offensive sniper again. He did so well on it earlier. I figured he'd just go and give it another shot, which actually might be really helpful to knock Mendo off of that high ground. That's really one of the only things that's actually going to be able to contest him. So it's good that they do have the sniper as long as he can get that angle over the top of the Reinhardt shield. Mendo already dropping down. Probably noticed there was a sniper. And that little May trick was for nothing.
Well, they're not expecting offensive Widow because Widow isn't played, but Wolf had a decent amount of success on playing offense here. They were tentative prior, so Wolf is able to get the first pick on Evoke just like previous game. Will NG Red take advantage of it this time as they didn't before?
Yeah, that revive comes out. We actually have Bird all the way around the back coming in looking for a couple of shots here. Seeing if you can find some targets from the side. Mangachu up top again. There is no Pharah to contest these skies. They also, Mendo really hasn't had the positioning to try and stop Mangachu either. He's getting to the backfield, actually going back to where that teleporter was last time. If only he did this earlier. He's in a fight with the Symmetra, and that's the final kill there. That is really what won them the fight.
Well, Wolf cleaned up, and we saw how important Evoke was on that Junkrat as they used a solo resurrection to bring him back. Now, they got nothing going on there for the defense. There not much ults, not many kills, just nothing. Wolf now has wall hacks, and they're going to move super far forward. Bird and Mangachu taking advantage, being able to see through walls. Evoke is off that Junkrat. He is now on the Winston. That has got to be a direct response to Wolf's dominance on Widow so far.
Mangachu's looking to push him off the roof. He goes for the ultimate, kills Mercy, actually goes down.
Totally worth.
He's trying to kill everyone, but does get Mercy. Bird and Wolf are actually flanked on the other side. Chance of Brett Esper going to get the frags anyway. That's going to allow Bird to have attack visor and get in from behind. FaZe is split up completely. Mendo goes down. Wonderful's in the back, most likely will go down. Tries to charge out, gets taken out by Wolf. And NG Red just splattering FaZe right now. FaZe not able to get anything done. Wolf takes out Vaneless again. Plant was down early. And FaZe
Wolf just walking forward with the sniper. It's apparently a close range character now.
I saw Vaneless.
Mendo actually switches to sniper to try and counter.
Yeah, he has to. They have to have an answer for it. It hasn't been Evoke. Mendo does get an early kill on Chance. They're going to try to hold this. He gets wrecked by Mangachu himself.
Bird with attack size. Mendo goes down. A res comes out from Vaneless. So both Mercies are still alive. Mendo is going to have to fight Mangachu one-on-one, and Mangachu's going to win that battle. Clamp finally able to take down Mercy. So they do have the Mercy advantage here, and they have the respawn advantage. And Chance and Wolf trying to get some picks done, not able to. Clamp with a big kill. It seems like FaZe might be able to hold here.
They should be able to. But this fight's going on very long. Both tanks are still alive, keeping pressure on the payload here. Mendo is able to take down Bread Expert as he tries to retreat. Kind of a wasted Earth Shedder, though, from Chance, as if that's going to come in and they don't have the Resurrection, which they do now to bring it back.
Yeah, huge
pretty much reset. Excuse me, yeah, it's pretty much reset with that revive. They're just right back to the very beginning here. And again, Mangachu up on that high ground, actually being contested by Mendo now with the damage boost on 76, but he goes down. That's going to leave Mangachu to be able to take control of this high ground and lay down a huge ultimate, going after both the tanks. Winston,
wow,
teaching us why he knows how to build spaceships. He's been there.
He just went to the moon right there. All right, so they did slow it down a little, but I actually talked to Valence the other night in one of the Twitch chats, and I said, Mercy's just really tough in this meta, and he goes, I'm a Mercy main. I'm like, well, you poor soul. And he's been absolutely obliterated this game. Now, this is one of the better lasts to be able to hold. They did stall out a little bit, so it's not as brutal as it was happening first time, but I think they need to use their reses a little smarter. They've been doing solo reses here for about the first 3 of them on defense, and it hasn't worked out for them.
Sir, we got to the final checkpoint. We're actually seeing it for the first time.
Final checkpoint, and NG Red is the one to do it, which I'm so proud of them. Mangachu hasn't gotten hooked by anyone or anything. He's up in the sky again. Mendo going to take him down, and this fight is totally going to be controlled by Mendo Kasai. He's up top with the visor, cleans up everybody, put damage on every single person, and please capture this 3rd checkpoint for us.
So yeah, FaZe finally playing some aggressive defense, which they like to do with Lucio, and they've for all the scrims that I've been watching them, they like to have an aggressive defense. They had to use Soldier ult and Clamps ult at the same time, so they are lacking a little bit, but Fraud will have sound barrier before Bread Expert does. So I think FaZe looking okay here on the final checkpoint.
Yeah, the Pharah is good here to contest this high ground as well. I would even like to see a flank come out from Mangachu if you can get someone quickly behind that background, but this fight starts off anyway. Bird throwing down the tack visor, trying to fight tanks with it. Actually keeping them away. They might be able to come out on top of this fight, but Wonderfuls gets revived. They definitely need that tank back, and Lucio drops the beat right after that. This is going to swing into their favor immediately from what before was looking like a really good push from NG Red.
Yeah, FaZe is playing very aggressive. They were able to get the res. They did use sound barrier. Mangachu's been staying alive, though, this whole time, being a complete nuisance on the flank, and they're going to try to get rid of him. Winston going to jump in. Winston going to use ult just to try to get in some space. Mendo going to use attack visor. And FaZe, although they might not have been getting so many kills, they've done a very good job of keeping the cart back and to make sure that NG Red has to play honest.
Good job, guys. You got a thumbs up. Can't tell what's happening right now. There's people everywhere. I'm sorry, I was just deers in the headlight, like what's going on? Mangachu drops down some justice again. Those ultimates have been doing so well to take care of the tanks, but a revive comes out right after that, and Chance drops Clamp onto the ground. I think he's just hanging on to dear life. You just have to admit it, you're dead. Mendo coming out on the Tracer.
Yeah, they're just trying to delay as long as possible. Now, Mendo's actually doing a very good job of delaying the cart. This is allowing his entire team to come back for at least one more team fight. Mendo is still alive, finally goes down, but this should be enough time to FaZe to make one final stand here, and if they win a team fight, they can extend this for a few more minutes. Mangachu, the big kill on the Wonderfuls, then Wolf. It's a 6-on-4, huge kills.
If Wonderfuls didn't die there, that could have easily been a successful defense. He had the hammer down, and he just got stuffed. A full tank worth of health down in a moment, and that is Team 2 winning. Yay, Team 2. NG Red taking it, and that's the first 3rd point we've seen capped all day.
Yeah, it was a really nice play by Chance at the end. As you mentioned, Wonderfuls had everything to be able to stall that out Earth Shatter, and then he just saw that that was probably the case, charged into him. It's one way to break a Reinhardt shield, is to just charge him. Took him down and was able to actually finish a payload map, like you said, for the first time today. We have a definitive payload score screen. 7:04 is the time on Dorado, which is kind of in the middle, a little bit towards the fast-ish end, as we've seen this map go to about 10 minutes, though. But it's pretty much dead center. A good time on Dorado is about 5, a bad time is about 10, so 7 is the time to beat.
I think
not a bad time.
What was that? I think they can hold it. I believe earlier we saw Wolf on Sniper, who was, again, playing really well today on Widowmaker. They held that second control point And I think they could do it again.
It was really close, though, and Gale Force did run over them on the first checkpoint. So they're not totally out of the woods yet, but I think a pretty solid time considering how they played earlier against Gale Force. And for FaZe, they really got ran over on that first checkpoint. Evoke died early, Vainless used res, and then nothing really went well after that. I don't think they were expecting the offensive Widow, and that negated Mendo's position on type of Sniper's Nest with Soldier, a lot there.
I think their strategy very clearly is to use res as often as possible. Now, the first times did not exactly work out right. They're not going for huge value reses. Even towards the end, when they did lose their tank early on, they lost Wonderfuls. They used a solo res on him to bring him back, which was the right choice in that instance, as it actually turned the fight around for him, though. So it's going to be interesting to see if that pays off for him. It's a little different than what we're seeing in the meta, where people are waiting, being patient, trying to get those huge value reses. But Vainless has been fine bringing up one, even two heroes on a res, and then getting res right back up. So kind of suits their aggressive playstyle in the way that they're using the Mercy Resurrection, but it is a different tactic than we see most teams use.
Yeah, Mendo will be on Genji. He's going to have to do work here.
Mendo's a great Genji, though. For those who don't know, haven't been following the scene enough, Mendo is a phenomenal Genji early on. Also, we're going to see a Symmetra here on defense, so a lot is going to be on Bread Expert, and then Wolf is going to be on a Roadhog. We're going to have Roadhog battles, too, as Evoke's going to run it for the offense, too.
Might have a little bit of trouble on Genji, as Mendo is, of course, from Sweden. So not sure how that's exactly going to affect his projectile throws, but he must feel confident enough to go with it anyway. I'm excited to see Fraud on Zarya. Always like seeing the Zaryas. I think I think players still underestimate how awesome she can actually be. But we actually have Mendo going all the way around back immediately.
I think he's trying to see if anyone's at Sniper's Nest.
Yeah, it opens up so much space, too. I mean, because they were also expecting Wolf to maybe run Sniper, that would be the perch he was on. He ate a huge Helix rocket, though. He's in trouble.
Mendo able to get back over, going to get the health, and FaZe running a single support, just Vainless. So this is risky, but they feel like they're going to be able to be successful here.
I think it suits their style. They've shown to me that they're an extremely aggressive team and just how they want to use things. Even when they're running double support with Lucio, they were using it to aggress on the defense. So it's definitely FaZe has a unique style coming out.
Yeah, it looks Clamp and Chance trading kills. Clamp with 2 kills, and Mendo gets the Mercy, and that is going to be a huge opening for FaZe to take this fight. Clamp with another kill. Clamp and Mendo going off for FaZe. They're going to get this first checkpoint very quickly. Yep. And that's a pretty good start.
Yet another Symmetra dies with 100% on her ultimate and never drops the teleporter. Bread Expert comes up as Lucio instead. They've got about 6 minutes to finish out this map. It's a good start for FaZe.
Yeah, they already have the high ground here. Chance with the Reinhardt shield up top. Mangachu going back to his Pharah. He was on Junkrat for a little bit there on that first push. I think the first time we've actually seen him not play Pharah today, if I'm not mistaken, laying down some rockets from above. Mendo just being a ninja around that corner, waiting for his moment.
Yeah, this is important. Mendo has sword, and NG Red's going to play a little bit aggressive. They jump down. Earthshatter comes in. No kills come out, though. Fraud able to get 1, but Birdwolf and Mangachu gets 3. Huge res. Coming out of Vainless, Whole Hog comes out, doesn't get any, and everyone's split up, shooting everyone at each other. No one's died yet. Wolf and Wonderful's trade kills. Vainless goes down, Evoke goes down, and NG Red will win the team fight. Wonderfuls has to back up.
Just some pretty bad ultimates all around coming out from FaZe there. Clamp, Death Blossom got nothing. Mendo luckily didn't use his sword. The Earthshatter didn't do a whole lot there either, so Clamp's not going to have that Death Blossom, which is hugely important.
When the best thing that happened during a push is that someone didn't use their Dragon Blade.
Yeah.
It didn't go very well. Mendo dropping the Dragon Blade now, gets up top. Can't really find anybody at the moment, though. Most of his Dragon Blade is going to go to waste. He's looking for Mercy, but she's been flying around. Mangachu getting her into really good positions. Now he's stuck way in the backfield. Reinhardt has to drop the hammer, which actually goes through the bottom of the cart and catches Fraud as well as Clamp. This fight, this defense again, I don't know. It could go either way. Mendo Kasai coming finally from around back. Some rocket barrage coming as well. Here comes the Lucio ult, countered by a Lucio ult. We actually have a revive on Evoke as well, popping up into the sky, gonna try and fight Mangachu. No one is dying.
Nobody's dying.
No fatality fights ever. Finally, a Death Blossom comes out. Bird drops. Clamp drops. Wolf and Chance go down as well. This might be a successful offense with only Clamp dying after what seemed like eons of battle. No! A gigantic quad revive restarts this fight all over again.
So Naptime dying early in the last fight actually comes back to help them out in the end. He's able to dive in, res 3. And then Vanillus able to get another res though. Huge Earth Shatter by Chance, not able to get the follow-up. Wonderful is able to get a kill. Mendo with 2. Barrage not able to do anything, gets reflected. And it seems like FaZe with 2 remaining on the card are going to be able to push. And they are going to have about
3 minutes left.
3 minutes to win this map. And that is very doable for FaZe. The ult advantage is about even. Right now, Mendo with a big kill onto Bird. That's going to be Soldier down. It's going to let FaZe push the cart.
I love Evo coming onto Pharah here too. It's so good on this last point of Dorado to come over the top to really kind of expand the battlefield to not only this right side, high ground, low ground push, but to take the left side too and be able to take that verticality. It's a smart switch onto the Pharah. They're also going to have a ton of ults to work with here. Most notably, of course, is that Mendo's going to have Sword Up.
Yeah, Mendo on Genji is also such a nice counter to Pharah. Sometimes that can be really awkward for Pharah, not wanting to shoot rockets that get reflected. Dragon Blade comes out, but he gets stunned by Mangachu. Actually, now on McCree, he says he doesn't want to deal with the Genji. A really good switch for him, just as I was explaining why that could be so annoying. But it looks like he's going to get revived anyway, and we're right back to square one with this fight on the low ground. Evoke getting up in the air on the Pharah, immediately shut down by Mangachu with the McCree.
Double down there. Yeah, coming out from both sides. Wonderful's gonna go down. And it looks like FaZe is gonna have to back up. Vanillus does not want to die here at the end. They don't want to chain death. Mendo Kusai actually the big kill on Bird, but he goes down to the end, and Wolf with 2, Lucio, and with Mendo and Clamp all dying at the end.
That's brutal bad. There's about a $130 left to finish out this map, which means about 1 good push and then 1 not so good push. Good thing is Wonderfuls has Earth Shatter, Resurrection's up, Death Blossom's up. They have some tools to work with. They're going to be walking into their own Earth Shatter, own Res, and then Tactical Visor. They need to find a way to take this high ground. I wouldn't mind them pushing this top right angle. At least Mendo's going to go up there and put some pressure on.
Yeah, this is looking like a much better NG Red than we saw before. Not as stubborn as they were, willing to change characters, and it's been working out for them very well so far. But Heroes, as you may have heard, so many, all of their tanks are on the ground right now. Clamp comes in with a gigantic Death Blossom on the ground again, is he though?
Ooh.
And they should be able to hold this just based off of that Earth Shatter right there.
FaZe gets nothing done there. Mendo going on the flank gets caught out. He tries to have a distraction on that top right, but is not able to do anything by Mega. Then he dies. All of FaZe let 5-on-6 on the cart. They would have pushed it up a little bit, but NG Red initiates. Clamp with his ult, not able to get anything done. And NG Red, only with 30 seconds left to go to get map 1.
Last good push coming in here. I mean, it's the last push, their last absolute chance. Amazing and ever.
Chance gets saved a little bit by the beat drop down from Lucio. However, he's going to be on low health. We have Wolf keeping everybody back with the Roadhog and splitting this fight up a bit. Roadhog's so good at pushing everybody back, holding things back. Winston on the Mercy in the backfield. Everyone's just too split up right now. That fight initiated all wrong for them after Wolf laid down the Roadhog ultimate and put everybody
Mendo, the only one left alive, and he is going to go down, and the game is over. NG Red has taken Dorado over FaZe. FaZe had their opportunities in the final checkpoint. They had 3 minutes to get the final checkpoint. They had a decent start, I thought, of the final checkpoint, but really, NG Red able to get the picks in that they need. Wolf with some big kills with Roadhog at the end, and NG Red gonna put FaZe down 1-0.
Yep, just pushing the card at the end so we can see what the play of the game is there. There were definitely some big Reinhardt slams. I think there might have been a high noon out from Mangachu. It's gonna be the classic Mercy revive. I think she did get 4 on the cart. Yeah, this fly-through actually was really sick. You could see everybody dead. He tries to get as many of them as possible. And that was such a clutch revive, so no shame in seeing that.
FaZe had their chances. The defense was not really as good as they had wanted, but they did an okay on offense. And they had an opportunity to put it away and to take first map. Now they are on the back foot. They will get to select another map, but FaZe, having lost all 3 maps today in their opening tournament,
yeah,
maybe there's some pressure on them now, because they definitely do not want to go 0-4 and out in their debut event. They at least want to bring this to a 3rd map.
I would say because they're a new roster, maybe not super practiced, super coordinated. Now, you say they've been practicing payload, so yeah, they are going to go to King's Row. Yeah. I would have liked to see them on Nepal, just because I think you put it in the hands of a guy like Mendo and let him go nuts on a Tracer or a Genji. And, we've seen King of the Hill being very deathmatchy, but they are going to go to King's Row, which probably is their most practiced map. I mean, preparing to re-enter the tournament scene. And all these guys are tournament veterans, which means that they've been playing since the beta, which means they've been playing more King's Row than anything else. Only recently has King's Row not been the go-to map in every set of every tournament. So this is probably their most practiced map, a map that they all feel very comfortable on, and it's their last chance to not get absolutely bounced in their first debut tournament.
I mean, they're pretty solid on King's Row. I have seen them quite a decent amount. They, should be able to put up a decent time here. Defense for FaZe will be very interesting to see what happens if they're going to put Clamp on the Soldier, which is what he'd been running lately. But they decided to go with Reaper on Dorado, and we know how good Reaper is on King's Row.
This might be a really dumb question, and I assume this is the case. But Clamp is Clampok, right? He just changed his name? Okay. Yes. I just want to make absolutely sure. Like, there's no way it's not him. But on the off chance that it wasn't, that would be weird.
Yes, that is. And it really is, a lot of this is going to be coming down to him. Especially considering he is the one on low ping out of all DPS players with Evoke and Mendo being the high ping one. I do expect a Soldier to come out from Clamp, or it will be Reaper. He had been favoring Reaper. Mendo is the in-game caller for FaZe, so any of the character picks, as I crash again, are done by him. So lately, he has felt like Reaper is the better selection. Hex, we have seen and casted Reaper a ton of times over the last week or two. And to be fair, Reaper has gotten a lot of work done in these matches.
I think he's great on this map. I actually prefer him in second and third parts on this map much more than I do defensively first, but I think it's fine to run him defensively first here because you want to get all the damage. You want to have the Death Blossom up to really stun out the Streets phase where the vertical nature of the map really comes into play. I still really like a Junkrat here on defense, although he's fallen a little bit out of favor. We're also going to see a defensive Pharah, which is just kind of the norm now. Mendo's going to be on defensive 76 too, which is a really good spot on this map. He's going to be up on this ledge, just doing so much distance damage. It's going to be interesting to see what the offense comes out. Evoke does switch, actually. He is going to play Junkrat early on. I actually really like that. I think Pharah is good here defensively, but I think it's another hero that shines more in the second and third phase of the game rather than the first. You should see some switches coming out eventually. No Torb, which is something Envious has been doing. No Symmetra, which is something that other teams have been running as well on King's Row, though she's fallen out of favor as well. It's going to be interesting to see, too, if Wolf stays on this offensive Widow. He's been the only one today we've seen really run a Widow, and he's done it to great success. So here we go, we're going to get into it.
Soldier instead and Evoke the Junkrat. It's pretty standard right now. And Wolf is going to be on Widow once again on the offense. They are going to have to be aware. They cannot play aggressive, but the FaZe team does like playing a very aggressive defense here.
This worked out perfectly. Wolf pushed them back into the corner because they couldn't contest, and now Reinhardt sets up this awesome forward shield, and Bird can just start trying to shoot at them, locked everybody into this corner, and really split them off exactly the way they want it.
That is always the biggest benefit of an offensive Widowmaker, is that it puts the defense in this weird angle. They have to fight in that corner. They can't afford to be anywhere else, and that's exactly what Wolf's able to do there. Nap time goes down early, though. That's going to hurt the offensive chances of continuing this push. They're not deterred by those. Chance charges in probably a little foolishly.
He's actually trying to be a little bit of a nuisance. We actually had Bird still up on the high ground behind them, which was trying to get the Reinhardt to turn around for Wolf still slanting him. The defenders haven't been in the best situation here, with people pretty much surrounding them at all times. Bird finally coming out from the high ground flank, and Mendo is the last person here who thinks he can try and get something done. No, just a little bit of extra.
Chance totally proved me wrong. He got so much work done back there, and I think you're right. He was acting as the nuisance because what he was trying to do was to get Wonderful to drop his shield so that Wolf could get some snipes in, and when that did happen, Wolf was able to clean up on some snipes. Chance got a couple kills towards the end, and that's a pretty fast first capture for King's Row.
As soon as Bird got into their FaZe's sniper's nest, it was very difficult for FaZe to deal with the right house position, because then they have to turn around, they have to look up, and when they trade 2 for 2 in the beginning, it's always going to favor offensive spawns. And pretty solid time from NG Red. They're actually able to push up on the spawn of FaZe for second checkpoint 2, and now Mendo has gone into Roadhog. So Clamp and Vainless both with ults, but Bread Expert has Sound Barrier way before Fraud does.
Mendo dies on that Roadhog, and Mangachu's now got his whole hog out. He's trying to get some work done on it. Bird hits attack visor as well. They're just dropping Qs.
This revive is what they need, but they're all in really awkward spots from the revive, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're able to successfully pull this out of nowhere. Mendo stuck by the cart, having the Roadhog on Roadhog battle. He who pulls first loses, but Mangachu didn't have his, nope, yep, Mendo lost. He hooked first. Never do it.
Red Expert and Chance finishing off that team fight, and the ults coming out of FaZe really have not worked out well for them. They are going to get this second checkpoint, more than likely. FaZe might try to contest. They only have 3 up, though. They don't have 6. If they try to contest now, they might all die. Wonderfuls gets charged anyway by Chance. Goes down. Fraud's going to go down. The whole team's going to go down. They're going to get the second checkpoint and push FaZe all the way back down to 3rd. The whole team gets wiped.
Yeah,
this is going to give ult advantage to NG Red. They're going to have wall hacks with Wolf going into this next team fight. Fraud has Sound Barrier as a saving grace for FaZe, so they should be able to put up
Mendo
at least
was
one
on Widow to try to counter Wolf, but he decides that Winton's the better option to be able to counter that as well, maybe adding more beef into this composition is what they need. He jumps into the big initiation, comes over the top here.
And Wolf being completely ignored up on this high ground. Lucio ult comes down. Wolf still just getting free shots, not really lining anything up yet. There goes 2 of them. Vanless is down. Kills the Mercy, gets the picks that he wants, and that might even end up being a play of the game there for Wolf, with a couple of nice snipes to clean this out in what is a pretty fast time from them.
You know, I can understand getting absolutely bodied by a team like Envious, but I did not expect FaZe to look this bad against NG Red, who's also struggled today. There's a reason that this is a lower bracket game.
Yeah, I mean, NG Red with a time of 3:45, just wrecking FaZe. Wolf at the end here with a lot of kills and really not letting FaZe get anything done. Barrage, it didn't work out, and Vainless is going to go down as well. And really, it's just FaZe had a shot at the end, too. They had Sound Barrier advantage, and they had Evoke's ult. That should be a clear win. Not only did they not win that team fight, they got slaughtered 6-0 even with the Sound Barrier. And with a 3:48 time, this is next to impossible for FaZe. They are going really to need to win pretty much the very first team fight of the game to control point A, and then to get enough momentum that they're going to have to push second checkpoint pretty solidly to push the card through the streets phase.
I mean, they're a new team, newish roster. It's going to take time for them to gel together. I also think it's an interesting experiment that we don't have enough information on, of running a half European, half American squad. It does give you kind of an interesting mix that someone, and no matter what tournament you're playing in, is going to have lower ping. But this, of course, is an all North American tournament. There's pretty much the only 3 Europeans in it are on this squad. So I guess you can blame ping for some of it. It's an interesting approach to building a team that if you want to compete in both EU and NA tournaments. We'll see how it's going to work out for them. But so far, they've shown really nothing of promise today, and it looks a little discoordinated. Just the amount of heroes they're switching on, not getting enough work done. Mendo has been all over the place and just switching heroes constantly. FaZe is not looking great, I guess is the best way to say it.
Damn. I think Mendo's been doing really well. I liked his Genji play. He did it well enough. But we definitely didn't see much of that there. I still believe that they can pull out a strong offense to counter what we just saw, but the teams that we're seeing right now, they're actually, they can't possibly be staying on Zenyatta and
so FaZe has been scrimming with Zenyatta, I can say.
In secret. See, it was a secret, I didn't know.
Well, I think this may be legitimate, and considering that they need to run such a fast time, I actually think the Zen pick might stay. They have run it on King's Row. I mean, Mercy seems to be the safer pick, but they can't even really waste reses. They have to kill.
They have to win this first fight, and that's what they're banking on. And Zen lets you annihilate tanks and do the distance damage.
So our first Zenyatta in what seems like any tournament in the last 2 weeks, a month, or year, or whatever.
Last 3 months, probably.
Coming in strong. Definitely want to see what they have here. Zenyatta staying in the back, throwing down some discords, but he's getting caught out a little bit by Bird. Has to stay out of this fight. The discords are what really matter coming from him, and they're able to push them way back into this choke point arch immediately. No kills going for either team. Mangachu is actually the only one to go down, which is crazy considering how aggressive this has been so far. And they almost have the point captured right out from under him.
Chance has to dive in. They almost do have the point captured. Clamp gets one. Clamp gets another. The revive comes in. Clamp's got another kill. Fraud goes down. Mendo gets one. Now he goes down. They still almost captured the point. A big kill from Evoke, but Magnitude with 2 and Bird with 1. And NG Red may have saved themselves. The 2-on-3 on the point. Clamp and Evoke are left. Clamp.
Stand on the point. Just stand on the point. That was kind of crazy. I really didn't expect them to come out with that much of a force to really push the other team. Like, they were scared. I saw Bird try to kill Zenyatta at least 4 different times. It must have been pretty frustrating to not get a sight on him.
It does become an issue, though, when you have the other team has Resurrection and you don't. You have to win that fight twice, and they won the first half of it. Were unable to kill them all the way through the second time.
FaZe with Tranquility, but it's not going to be enough. And Evoke gets one, but Wolf and Chance and Mendo Kusai, they're going to be trading kills. The 3-on-4 on the point. But the Mercy comes in, and Magnitude is going to be able to knock people off. Mendo with 2 big kills. FaZe has a chance of getting this point with the res comes out, and it has been 2 minutes now. Knocked off the time for NG Red. This battle is still going on, but FaZe has to win this soon.
What is even happening right now? There's Death Blossoms and Roadhogs firing every which direction, but it looks like the offense here is a little bit outnumbered, and it's not going to work. The Roadhog getting a couple of clean kills there.
They're going to actually clean this up.
Just swayed in their favor. That came out of nowhere from my perspective. Wolf is the last person who just has to die, and they only needed a tick on that control point anyway. So
90 seconds left about to finish out the map entirely. They cannot get slowed down at all. Now they are running their own Mercy, realizing that it's hard to kill a team entirely twice when you only have 1 life and they have 2. Doesn't seem entirely fair. Clamp has Graviton coming up, which they're going to need to hit and absolutely crush through. Like I said, time is the biggest enemy right now.
Mendo in the chat, we can make it. Inspired. Wolf agrees. That's dramatic. Everyone believes. I would really love to see them pull this out. The Zenyatta play, even though they didn't get to live twice, I still think the Zenyatta ultimate played a big role. As everyone was knocked on the ground, he was able to make sure they didn't die. But that big Lucio ult coming out from the defense. Oh, no one is even standing up to capitalize on the Graviton Surge, as Chance just put everybody on the floor.
NG Red kills the team. That should be it
for them.
Yeah.
Yep. GGs are coming out. That is an offensive GG, as you know, they did call it first from the winning team. Not necessarily what you generally see, but it is generally in agreement that that is a good game. It is over. Only 30 seconds left to finish the map, and they're getting spawn camped. So pretty poor showing here from FaZe, but I will say this about them. I like that they're doing new stuff and trying different styles. At least that's a breath of fresh air, that they're trying very aggressive resurrections. They're trying the Zenyatta. They're doing some cool stuff, and maybe if they pull it together as a team, they can be that team that breaks the meta on certain occasions, and it does some interesting games.
I mean, they almost took that first point. That almost worked. Yeah. They were, a close tick away from doing exactly what they needed to. Actually, I think Chance made some pretty big plays there at the end, and they were never able to kill Bird on that platform. So that even though the Vaneless and Bird went back and forth, they weren't able to get the kill. Bird's able to go to Sniper's Nest, do enough damage, and that allowed them to get the res and finish off the game. So NG Red at least making it through the next round. And for FaZe, I think they played okay, but this cannot have been what they had wanted to going into this tournament. I mean, let alone winning a series, they would want to win a map, and they really did get run over on Kings Row on defense. And if NG Red is going to do that to them, a team that looked like they had some problems against Gale Force, which is a team that has problems against Cloud9 and Envy, there's a long road to go for FaZe to be a top Overwatch team in the world.
Well, I definitely agree with that. We are going to just wrap it up here. This is the only day of the second stream, so tomorrow we're just going to be tuning in and enjoying the rest of this tournament with you guys as some monstrous sets yet to come. But that's going to do it for us. I'm going to let you guys get final words in here, then I'll wrap it up, and then we're going to call it a day. Slasher, why don't you start us off?
Hey, we can wrap up a little bit more.
All right,
I know to talk.
Well, I'd want to give it back to the other stream at some point, but sure.
Yes.
Let's. I mean, the one thing I do want to talk about though, while we are going to have a moment, is that LG beat Cloud9 2-1.
That is very impressive. I think that's the first time that Cloud9's lost to LG in quite a while.
Wow.
Sir, I want to know how you felt about casting.
It took me a little while to get into it. The 3-person thing is still weird to me, but I had fun. I hope you had fun. I just want to say in closing on that last match that you can't always win the first tournament of the day. So I can understand FaZe. That's too bad.
Look,
You had fun casting with me.
Don't worry about the 3-person thing. When it's me, Hex, and ZP, it's also
It's alts, yeah.
It's weird and it's hard, especially in an internet 3-person cast is fucking hard.
I hate internet people. They're the worst.
So are you gonna stick around, Stir, in this competitive stuff? I know you got your casual stream over there.
I'm hardcore and relatable. I can hang. Someone has to go for heroic while you guys are scrimming and casting tournaments.
Hey, did you get heroic in closed beta?
Fuck that.
Did you get time? Someone on this broadcast got heroic in closed beta. Was it you, Sir? I'm Hex. I'm not sure if you did.
I think I actually had it.
I did.
And I didn't know what the icon meant when I had it.
Oh, please. What do you mean? It said heroic right under the icon. You couldn't even level up anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't let you.
Oh, well, screw that. It's a waste of time. I don't want to do it.
You are higher than me on the PTR. I don't know about you, Hex.
I solo queue only on PTR, so my rank's not super high right now.
Have to clarify, you meant on the beta. Heroic.
Yes, beta. You can't get heroic now. There is no heroic.
You can actually get heroic right now.
Oh, really?
It shows an icon next to your name that means you're heroic. But it doesn't actually have the leaderboards, and it doesn't have like the fanfare of it right now, as I understand.
Is there a number? Like, is there a number?
Well, it's like it looks like like an orange transformer logo next to your rank, which will mean that you are in the top 500. But there is no leaderboard right now. That's what I was talking about.
About that stream.
Beta
do you want to plug that stream as we wrap up here? Any shout outs, personal plugs, shameless self promotion, Star?
Shout out to you guys. Thanks for Slasher trying to get me involved in casting.
Yay.
I mean, usually a casual streamer guy, but
I thought you did great.
Slasher. Yeah, thanks. It definitely was weird to get used to, but I have to learn sometime. I guess I have to. And it was fun.
I have 2 things, Hex. One huge shout out, but by the way, thank both of you for casting with me. Stir, I hope you turn more competitive than casual. But huge shout out to Disciple, which is our producer and our host for today and several events previously. He has been great helping us get everything together. He also casts Overwatch himself too. So please make sure to go to Disciple Games on Twitter to find him and the stuff that he's doing. Bravo, man. Much appreciated. The other thing I want to mention before we go, ESL released their rule set for the first major tournament for $100,000, which includes the 2 CP maps of Volskaya, Hanamura, and Temple of Anubis. There will be no hero limits, so welcome the return of 2 Winstons every single game and 2 Lucios every single King of Hill till forever. There will be no stopwatch, as we are now using the new time bank game mode, which is now in the competitive mode for the beta PTR, and there are no map bans or a map draft for the qualifiers in the tournament. I will just say that these rules were influenced by Blizzard onto ESL, and that I do find it a little bit frustrating after all the tournaments that we've seen, including the one today that we casted and you're going to be watching, I think the diversity from One Hero Limit has been super impressive across the board. We've pretty much gotten every hero in the entire game in this current format. It's been much easier to cast, much easier to observe, and the pro players have liked to play Stopwatch since the beginning of beta. Every single tournament has had it. I hope the community speaks out of whether they like it or they don't like it. But for the first big tournament to be happening quite soon, I would hope to see the major event organizers and the developer of the game talk to the pro players that are playing in their tournaments.
Well said. I agree with many of those points, and we are going to finally wrap it up. Thank you so much to Stir, being the internet celebrity he is, taking time to join us here on our lowly casting competitive.
Influencer is the term we go by.
Influencer, okay. I mean, pretty much, we just couldn't get Germa. Thanks, Slasher, for coming. Much appreciated, too. Again, thanks to your Disciple. You can check him out on Twitter at Disciple Games. And then thanks to everyone. If you want to check me out on Twitter, I don't do much on there. That is at Hexagrams. Make sure you watch the rest of this tournament today and tomorrow. The OG Invitational is awesome. These teams are great. Support competitive Overwatch. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. That is it for us today. Goodbye.